10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What is going on? I'm RJ.
I'm Desiree.
I'm Gerald. G saw that.
And welcome to the Silver Site. Today we're going to be breaking down season 2, episode 2 of HBO/Max's Last of Us. And the episode is called Through the Valley. Sorry, slipped my mind. And the synopsis is: as a storm brews in the mountains, the people of Jackson Hole and prepare for the worst amid increased sightings of infected. Meanwhile, Abby weighs her options. So, before we get started, before we dive deep into the episode, I want to know, what do you guys think of this episode overall? Desiree?
I liked it. It did exactly what I requested for it to do our last live. So, yeah.
I did like it, and it did the exact opposite of what I thought they were going to do. I thought they were going to find a way to like string it along a little bit. Now I know, because I kept saying, oh, I got a theory. My theory was wrong.
We are not on episode 3. I don't know what the helicopter I was doing. We're on episode 2, so we will just... Yeah, okay. Technical difficulties. I've been putting episode 3 on everything. Like the graphics that I sent y'all, like I have ones before that all said episode 3. Yeah, my bad, y'all. So we're on episode 2. I'm not even sure if I said episode 2 when we went live. But I gotta rewind it. I probably said episode 3. So
Yeah.
I might be psychic. Something might pop off episode 3. We don't know. So you heard it here first, y'all. But I overall I enjoyed the episode. It gave me a little bit of what I wanted, but I also, on this side of Gerald, like, dang, I was hoping that they kind of stretched it out a little bit because we are getting more episodes this season. So for me, as someone who played the game, knows what was going to unfold, I was hoping that they kind of did that a little later on.
Yeah.
Hey, Shayna, what's going on?
Hey.
Thanks for coming. Yeah, so I enjoyed the episode. It did give me what I thought it was going to give, but yeah. So this episode, a lot happened. We had some major character deaths. We had we learned a little bit more about the evolution of the infected, and we had a big battle. So first I want to talk about I was about to say the walkers. We are not in the Walking Dead. The infected rising from the snow, and how they said that they used the bodies of the other deceased infected to insulate so that way they can stay warm during the winter, which is not in the game. I love the evolution. I love it.
Yeah. That's now I'm just now learning that wasn't in the game.
Yeah.
So for that to have not been in the game, I think that's brilliant from a TV writing standpoint. And also creepy if you think about it. It gives me the ick.
Yeah.
We watched it several times. Oh, several times. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yep. Shana, your bucket will ship tomorrow. I'll provide you with the shipping information so you can look out for it. Thank you so much for tuning into that last live. And congratulations again.
Yeah.
Hope you go take the ticket and go see Sinners in IMAX. Which I couldn't see it in IMAX. I had to get a poor ticket.
I thought that was interesting because I didn't know that didn't happen in the game. I know somebody had made mention there was one part where there was one infected that actually did like jump out of the snow, but the way they did it in the show, I felt like that was genius though, because I think they were able to create way more suspense by doing that.
I feel like it's just another level of like terror, because for me, hey, you got the chick, what's going on? Thanks for coming. For me, it's more terrifying because like when I think of zombie apocalypse, I always say like, well, head north because you'll be safer up there, head towards snow. But in this one, it's like, nah, you can't do that either.
No, you're not safe anywhere.
Yeah, you're not safe anywhere. So it's like, well, damn, take me out. Like,
exactly.
Like I don't want to be here no more.
Nothing worse than having to go through that in the cold. Like,
do you know they actually filmed in the cold? Like, this wasn't like a set. Like,
yep, it was real. You can't fake those red cheeks.
You can't. can I ask you guys, since you have played the game, do you like the direction the show is going in? Because it's similar but different. So, as someone who's played both Last of Us 1 and 2, and someone who loves television movies, for me, um, I like some of the elements that they've taken from the game. I try to judge them differently because I also know that um, with it was something else where it was another television show that was adapted from a game or a movie or something like that, to where they made like Walking Dead, that's what it was. And he said that the changes that he made in Walking Dead allowed him to explore new pathways that he couldn't once he made those decisions in the comic books. So for me, I kind of just like to sit back and enjoy and let things happen. Am I a little irritated about things? Yeah, but I also don't want to be foaming at the mouth because like something isn't exactly like the game. I think what the game brings is what the game brings, and the television show brings is what the television show brings.
That's a fair assessment of it. I haven't played the game, so I'm just gonna go ahead and agree with RJ. What he said.
Yeah, I like I love the games. I play them frequently. But yeah, the snow. But yo, so back to what we were saying about them like filming in the snow. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but how some people get an attitude when it's hot. I get an attitude when it's cold.
Yeah.
Like I have a physical, visceral reaction to being cold. Like when I get out the shower in the summer and I leave even the ceiling fan. Like and I step out and I feel like that. I get mad. I hate being cold. So for me, I don't know if I could. I would have to turn the job down. Like, can y'all give me for season 3 when the sun comes out? 'Cause I'm not dealing with it.
No, it's worth it. It's so much moolah. But I get it. I had to film in the snow. It was
Mhm.
darn
So
near
what is
degrees.
that? Isn't there a certain like is snow the same as getting rained on? Like when it comes to I know there's a term they use for when an actor has to get wet in the scene, that they I guess get paid more to be wet on
Oh,
and I feel it's a term that they use. I forgot what it's called,
I
but
forgot what
they have to basically they have to know in advance that they're going to be wet in the scene, and then they
Mhm.
have to decide whether they want them to do it or whether they want to do it or not.
Um, I mean, I would say that probably goes to more privileged actors because I
Okay,
didn't have a choice, unfortunately.
okay,
I had a mini skirt on too, so
oh
yikes.
God, yeah.
that was fun.
Okay,
No
okay,
extra zeros in the check for that though.
man. Yeah, I'll have to look up that term. I know there's a term for it though that they were talking about. And that could
Yeah,
just mean your leads and stuff like that. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I
there is
don't
a
know. What
term.
did I miss? Sorry, guys, I have to step off real quick.
No, you're fine. We were just talking about how it was filmed in like on location in actual snow in the mountains, and I was just saying how I
Oh
could
yeah,
never. They
that.
would have to fire me. Like
Whew,
Yeah.
I,
it,
I,
I
I would have a reputation of being like the most difficult actor, and I would never get another job again because I would have an attitude the entire time.
Yeah. Usually they have those big heaters everywhere, like on
Mm.
set. So you can stand under those heaters and they do their job. They
Yeah.
do the job of
propane deal.
warm and everything.
Now they'd be like action. I'd be like, no.
Yeah, you gotta throw off the go.
Like, do you know High School Musical was filmed in the cold too? Like, you can see not High School Musical.
I was like, what?
Camp Rock. Yeah, Camp Rock was filmed in the winter. Like during the final jam, you can see their breath. Like that's
Oh,
how
I
cold it was.
never noticed.
I would have gotten fired. Like I'm not doing it. Absolutely not.
Come on, Disney paycheck.
I have to go to hell. Like, hey, I'm out.
So
Not doing
fun,
it.
funny enough, that so something similar happened. It was the polar opposite. The first RoboCop, they
Mhm.
were in Detroit. Well, they were actually filming in Dallas, and it was hot, and so they ended up having to go to New York and finishing because everybody was like, y'all got us out here in winter coats and stuff, and it's hot."
Ooh,
Like and
yeah.
trying to act
Yeah.
like this is futuristic, dystopian New York. I mean, dystopian Detroit, and they were shooting in Dallas. They literally had to pick up and go to New York to shoot, which
See, I
I
would
thought it
have
was
been
crazy.
fine. I'd have been
Yeah.
like, y'all dramatic. Like, it's not that hot. It's only 102 degrees.
Hey,
Only
with that you add that humidity in there, buddy, you'll have a whole different perspective.
right.
I love the heat. Like, I that's why I don't know. Maybe I'm a reptile, but I love the heat.
Oh man, no, I can't do the heat. But yeah, just knowing that they filmed in the snow alone, in the cold.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can see it. Like I
you
mean,
can
they
yeah,
looked
Yeah.
cold.
they
They
used
looked
that
cold.
environment to enhance their acting. you know, and it was convincing enough for me, at least watching it. So
It was for me too, because I was
Could
like,
you
on the edge of my
imagine
seat,
though?
like,
I was gonna say, could you guys imagine like being in that situation, like being the character and like having to fight for your life in the cold? Like in
no,
the spring and the fall is one thing, you know, like, you know, we could get down, like we could get down, you know, when the weather's good, but
yeah,
like it's cold and I gotta fight.
yeah, no.
No.
I get stiff. Like I stiffen up when it's cold. Like,
Throwing a,
so
trying to
the
throw a
thought of
punch.
having to, like, run or throw a punch or be in
No.
survival
Yeah.
mode is annoying to me, like, just the thought of it.
I'm
see,
like,
Automatic
my
I can't
brain
come
would
back.
go off and stuff like that. Yeah, I'd be like, man, what if I have to fight somebody? I have to
Can't
hit them
do it.
with my elbow, or how does that? Like, yeah,
My teeth would
exactly.
have been chattering the entire time. Like, it wouldn't have been good, man. Like, it wouldn't have been
Mm-mm.
good.
And then that scene where Caitlin had to and she's a by the way, shout out to her, she's a brilliant actress.
mm-hmm.
When she was, in between that gate and she was, like,
Mm,
crawling and
Yeah.
man,
that
so I knew, I just guessed that was from the game,
It
but
was.
I said, I guarantee you that's from the game. I was telling myself that, right? But the whole time, I kid you not, this is how I was watching that scene. I was doing it the whole time. The scene was happening. Like, I felt like I was like, first off, I'm too dang big to be trying to crawl in that kind of space, because I would have been like, ugh, like that. But at a certain point, I was like,
Right.
and
Yeah.
it got lower and lower, and the point of view of the camera was so precise. It made it feel like one shot, even though they kept showing it from different angles.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then when that one crawled through after her, I was like, "Oh, this is bananas."
Whew.
Yeah,
I
it
would
had
have
me
died.
shook. It had me
I would
shook.
have died right then and there. Like, that's where my story ends right here. No will to survive. No will to go on. Like, that's it. We're done.
My
Yeah,
heart
Like,
I
just
think
started
I
racing
would.
thinking about that, man. That
but
scene
I
was
remember playing that scene
intense.
in the game. Like, I remember playing that scene in the game. And of
Mhm.
course, y'all know I play with the lights on, like
Of
broad
course,
daylight,
of course,
brightness up on the TV.
in
And
the
I was
safety of sunlight.
screaming. Don't tell Jay that. But I was still screaming. I was like, eh, and I was doing the same thing that you did. I was kind of leaning and hitting the square button and hitting the thing. And then when the thing, amazing. Like,
Intense. Yeah. I think I would have, if I was in her position, I would have peed my pants
oh
for the
yeah,
first time. Just, oh my God.
I would have immediately doo-dooed on myself, like
Right.
straight to doo-doo. Like, not even number one. Like, did you shit yourself? Yes. Just
Right.
You'd be
just
like,
like in Sinners, when that man
somebody
shit
smell
his
something.
pants, I
Right.
understood. I understood.
As the actress, I would have been like, don't worry about it. It's dedication. It's dedication.
It's called method acting, people.
It's this method acting.
So let's talk about that. So she gets through the fence, and Joel and Dina actually save her. Which I was about to say in the comic, which in the game, it's actually Joel and Tommy. Tommy's the brother, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Tommy, yeah, it's Joel and Tommy. But in the show, it's Joel and Dina come to the rescue. And I'm not sure in the order they did it in the show because I can't remember. But in the video game, we didn't find out. Well, no, it's the same thing. They found out that Joel was Joel when they made it back to safety.
Yeah.
So put a pin in that. We're gonna
So
talk about that because that's the last thing.
something that they changed. Okay.
Yeah. So put a pin in that. So in the middle of all of that, this brings in like the infected and snow. So Abby ends up. This happened before, yeah. So Abby ends up falling down a hill, which in the game they fall so much. They fall through the floor. They roll down hills in the game. So that is something else that's straight from the game. Is Abby ass rolling down the damn hill because she's always falling down the damn hill. And so that triggers the infected to rise from their snowy graves and they head towards Jackson. And this is probably like a Walking Dead level shootout. I feel like as much as they had, I still feel like they weren't prepared enough. I felt like they took forever to roll the gasoline down and they took forever to light it on fire.
But I think that was by design though. And if you look at it, because if you could hear him giving them commands.
Mhm.
Like he would say, wait, wait, wait. Then they rolled them. Then he said, wait again. Then they started shooting them. So they were
Terrible
purposely
commands.
creating and I think those were oil barrels, the way they were doing. Because if it was
Mhm.
gasoline, I think they would have blown up instead of just like catching fire then blowing up. Because
Oh, did it catch fire at first and then blow
yeah,
up?
because when they first started going, you could see them as they were running, and then you got the explosion. Then they
It
started
was
to
to be gasoline.
Huh.
I gotta go look again because I thought it
Yeah.
was
Okay.
gas. It was kind of thin, but
Okay.
I don't know. Either way, to me, I feel like he waited too late to tell them to like. I feel like there should have been a wall of fire. They really should have flamed those up.
Well, but
Yeah.
I think that's how they were like trying to do it. Like if you let the infected run in, the oil go or the barrels, whatever was in there, goes in behind them, hits.
Mhm.
Now you got a wall that goes up. Because you're not gonna stop everyone from coming through. Because if that's the case, then they already had them on the ground and they just start shooting them. Because
Right.
remember they said that they knew they only had so much time before they got there anyway. And once they start slamming into the wall, I remember him specifically saying wait, which obviously had to be some kind of strategy because they've dealt with obviously people trying to invade before, so they know their protocols because the checklists were pretty precise. The way he
I
was
think it was a bad
quizzing
strategy.
them.
I think it was a lapse in judgment, I think,
Yes.
to have waited that long. I think I
Okay.
would have did it differently. Maybe it would have been a better plan to have like a rope or something that, maybe that can trigger a fire as they're coming
Yeah.
across. But I think he
Yeah.
waited too damn late.
They
Because
were
even
climbing the
I'm
wall
like,
like World War. Yeah,
They were hitting the wall like
they
World
were
War Z.
climbing the wall like it
Yeah.
was World War Z when he was like,
Mhm.
"Okay, now, like what?"
Because they were
I'm
hitting
like,
it, and then as they hit it, they started stacking up.
Yeah,
exactly. And I'm like, see, now one of them's gonna get through.
and they did. They all
And
got through,
Okay,
and
so
it just was a
how different
massacre. Like people was not
Mhm.
dropping left and right.
so did they have that
We said
did that happen in the game? Or something similar?
no. Jackson
Okay.
doesn't get attacked in the game. No,
Okay.
Oh,
this was
okay.
something completely
Just the
different
TV. Okay.
and out of left field. That I'm glad they kind of added because if the episode would have been really dull because in the game, Dina and Ellie stumble upon this that Jesse and Ellie had stumbled upon for the break.
Got you.
My Wi-Fi going out.
Yeah, you kind
Uh,
of slowed down on
it
Am
slowed
I
down
good?
for a second.
Good.
we could hear you, but you slowed down.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, it's lagging.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh, try that. Okay, that should be better. Hopefully.
Okay,
I
yes.
think so. Yeah.
We're good
Yep.
now.
Yep. Perfect.
It's weird. Like when I plug my laptop in, it freezes. I don't know why. I can only charge it. I can't charge it and be on it, which is weird. Okay, so in the game, it's Dina and Ellie that find that place that Jesse and Ellie were at when they were taking
Gotcha.
a break,
Okay.
and so they end up having relations with each other, Dina and Ellie,
Because they had a little session.
They got a little session, yeah.
Okay. Now
Because
that I
Jesse
did
walks
hear
in-
too. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and Jesse walks in after and says, "Hey, where are Joel and Tommy? Because Tommy and Joel are supposed to be together when Joel inevitably gets killed." And so that whole scene in Jackson, it happened because if they would have just followed the game, it would have been very, very boring. They needed something, and
Yeah.
nobody.
Makes sense.
They needed something,
That
and
makes
so.
sense.
But I love that they added that. I love the brutality. I love the CGI. I love the practical effects. Also, rewinded. Did you see like when the walkers running in the snow that one of the extras was running and laughing?
No, I
No,
did not see that.
Yes, go back and watch it. It's a black guy. Like he's like
no.
he's running and laughing.
They ain't gonna hire him ever again.
No more. And it's like 0.2 seconds, but you can see like he has his he having the time of his life running
Oh, I'm
around in
about to
that
rewatch
snow.
that.
So
Yeah,
how I watch
I
things.
laughed so hard.
Yeah, when I watched it the second time, what I did run across is one of the last ladies for some reason that they zoomed in on right before was it Abby fell,
Mhm.
or it was after she fell, but when she was running, one of the last ones, she was the one that grabbed her and got kicked. Yeah,
Man,
I
I
didn't see
need
that. I
to.
gotta go back.
she
and
was
watch
actually the one that grabbed her. Because
Wow.
initially I thought it was just a guy with long hair.
Mhm.
And then I watched it again. I said, "Hey, that's the same one." For some reason, I don't know if that was a choice or it just happened that way. but she happened to be one of the, I would say, last ones up, but she was one that they zoomed in on. She just had this weird way of contorting when she came out of the ground.
Okay.
But she was the one who jumped up and grabbed her leg, which I thought that was crazy that she was able to make it up that wall.
Well, it was on her heels.
Honestly,
like,
yeah,
it
but
was on her.
I was surprised she was able to make it up that wall like that. I was like, dang, she got up.
So with the attack on Jackson too, I really enjoyed the one-on-one with was it Tommy versus the bloater?
Yeah.
The big, and if anyone has played the game, they can relate to this. Having to fight that thing with the flamethrower, and you holding it as long as you can, and hoping that you sprayed enough because you're out now, and so it kind of just walks towards you, and you don't
That
know
had
whether
me on the edge too.
it's thrown out or whether it's gone. Like that, like spot on.
And when they started zooming in on that tank, I said, "Oh, come on, man." Come on. My stress level started spiking. I'm like, oh, my man about to go out. He about to just get beat into the ground by this living plant, basically. Yeah. I was like, this like Brute's drunk uncle about to kill you.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, they kept zooming in. I was like, and then you could hear the hiss as it started getting lower, and lower. And I was like, no.
I was like, well, that's that. Tommy's going through.
Now, did you guys notice? I and this is again second watch, but when they started turning to go towards that opening, you could hear the bloater make a noise, almost like telling them where to come to. Because they were going straight, then they all turned and went the other way. And you could hear that weird, whatever that noise he was making. You could hear it right before they showed him. That thing was humongous. I was like,
and I'm mad it was coming right for Rutina Wesley's character. I can't remember her name. Like she shot it, and then it just like turned his attention. Was like,
it paid attention to. Yeah, it actually moved.
I'm like, you don't have eyes. How did you see that? Like,
I think but I think
it was I did it.
Where he got shot and just turned, towards that thing. And then the husband ended up getting his attention again, and that's when he like started, like, hey, you're not going that way. Come on this way.
Yeah. I wonder if we're going to discuss that in the third episode between, husband and wife. Like, hey, I noticed something.
Yeah.
Did you? Like, yeah, I don't know.
Even though them two dudes ran off like some.
Oh yeah.
and the crazy part about it, the dude that looked the scaredest, he stayed there and fought.
He did.
The one that looked the scaredest, he was the one on the left. He actually stayed and fought.
He stayed till the very end.
The other two, the two on the right, took off and ran. He actually stayed, and he was the one that looked the most shook when they was putting the packs on. He was looking into the camera like, I don't want to do none of this.
See, and that's why I think that I don't know if I would necessarily be the fighter. And like we talked about this when we did our like season 1 kind of. Right. I don't know if I would necessarily be the fighter. I don't mind going out and scouting. I don't mind going out and scavenging. But that fighting stuff, I don't want no parts of it.
You're gonna have to fight out there when you scavenge.
I will hide. I'm a great hider. I'm a scared cat. I was the only one that screamed at the first jump scare in Sinners. I was so embarrassed. Everybody was looking at me. I almost left.
RJ you just gonna run and tell. You're gonna be on the radio.
I'm the tattletale, the group tattletale.
You're gonna have to watch all the movies in Braille.
Oh my
God. Just be sitting there, just
Gerald.
Fingers
I'm
just
be like this. Look, I'm be like.
I can picture that. RJ.
Oh man,
RJ the hider. But I tell you what, though, I won't die by the hands of no zombie.
I mean,
you gotta find me to eat me.
You chose your own fate. Yeah, you controlled it. My favorite part about that battle, though, was when she released the dogs. I don't know why.
That was actually player. I loved that. Yes. I loved it.
Seeing those dogs.
Andrea.
Hey, what's going on? Thanks for coming.
That was player. I like that because it seemed like, again, based on the way that the training, it looked like, okay, we're down to our last, couple things here.
Yeah.
let's see what happens, you know. And then them dogs came out, they was about it. Even in the aftermath, they still showed them kind of chewing on a couple of them. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Them dogs
Yeah.
was a good Hail Mary.
Mhm.
Like they wasn't playing no games.
yeah,
And it makes me, and I love stuff like this because it makes me the world expand in my brain. So imagine the training that they have to have in order to be able to sniff out who's infected. And
Mhm.
then not only when you sniff them out, you have to effectively kill them. So those dogs are trained.
Yes.
right.
Yep. That was so dope. I was like, I need to go teach my 2 Cane Corsos how to do the same thing. Them boys big.
You're like, y'all all right?
You got some protection on
Yeah.
you.
I was afraid though that the dogs, because I've never played the game again, but you know, I thought they would like get infected from biting them. So
No,
there
and
wasn't.
I don't understand it. Like in the game, the infected will eat animals, but when the animals eat it and they're not like finished off, they have to put them out of their misery. So I don't know if it just doesn't translate between humans and animals because there's no infected animals that I've seen in the game.
Okay.
So it's
I just know
weird.
we had that one infected bear, I think, in the first episode,
Which was, I guess, was
right?
the bear was dead already, wasn't it though?
I thought it was.
thought it was-
Well, yeah, it was dead, but it looked like it was. I don't
Yeah.
know. Okay.
I think that might have been one of those things where, I'm just guessing that it
Mhm.
could have been just like it's an incubator after the fact, you know, not necessarily that the bear was infected itself.
Right.
Because I remember somebody did bring that up or saying something about the bear in another thing I watched, but they didn't really stay on it long. So,
Mm.
but what about before we jump back into the bear? What about Abby being so slick the way she redirected Joel? Because Joel saw the fire and Joel was ready to head back, and she was like, "Hey, well, wait, my God, we got shelter." Because she was slick enough to be like, "Hey, your girl over here cold. We need to get her put away. I got people that can help us." And
She was
Joel was
slick
kind
with
of
it.
like, but Joel said, "Look, if I die, I die."
Mhm.
Because he said, if it's my time, it's my time. So that really let me know, oh, he's about to. He kind of knows what's up, what it is, you know.
I would have went back.
Not with her, but just he was about it at that
Yeah.
point, no matter what. You
He
know?
was ready to go back. Like
Right.
I know. I feel like maybe that's why I would also survive because I'm a realist. If I'm on the walkie-talkie and I see the place is ablaze and no one's responding, I've already let y'all go mentally. Like it's time to move on.
Yeah.
The hider is engaged.
But wait, what if your insurance? Are you going back?
We will find another insure factory. Like I will be fine. We will. I've already mentally let y'all and that insure go.
You just gonna take the loss.
Listen, somebody's got to live to tell a story, and I happen to be great at telling stories.
I cannot.
I'm not doing it. And he was ready to turn around like about face, like, nah, y'all going, y'all on fire.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, but she was really slick with it the way that she did that. Oh,
Yeah.
we have shelter, you know. He really had no choice. He could have gone back, but still, it would have been stupid.
When as soon as she got the confirmation, when she heard her say his name,
Yeah.
she started, her wheels started turning like, okay,
yeah,
what am I gonna do? Because she knew she didn't have her either gun at the time, but she lost those on the way down.
Yeah.
So she was fine with going with whatever plan they were gonna do initially. Then she was like, wait, I got somebody in this cabin. That's step one. And then no, don't look over there. I still need you to go to this cabin with me because we can get warm. We can, figure out what we need to do.
Hurry up.
You know. So,
yeah, Abby was suffering from like frostbite. He looked at Abby and he's like, all right, well, let's go. Man, how easily the whole situation like just played into her hands. And it was accidentally too.
Yeah. He just saved you.
Coincidence, but it's just so happened to happen. And it's funny because I always think too, like even when I watch Walking Dead, I always say, why are people using their real names? I always say when you go out, you should have a fake name that you give to people so that way they're not tracking you back. Or I ran into RJ at such and such and he robbed me for this and this is, blah, blah, blah. But if they come across me, I'm David. Like, what's up? Like, I'm not about to do that.
Yes.
Listen, it's not about outrunning the zombies.
Hey man, we wearing
your friends.
We wearing tethers. sir. It's gonna be me and you. So you're gonna have about 300 to drag. You're gonna have about 300 to drag, bro. I might choke you out with the rope.
we both going down. And you are absolutely right. Do not, because if it comes down to me or you, I gotta live to tell the story.
Well, my name is Bennett. I ain't in it. Okay, that's between y'all.
I'm like, so anybody want to
probably
go
light
with
enough to
me?
get
And
thrown
everybody's
over
like,
his shoulder.
Probably.
RJ, I'll probably scoop you up too. Be like, hey, bro, we gotta go, man.
We gotta go.
You be like, save me. Let him eat you first, bro.
Like I'm like, hey, I'm about to go scout, y'all. Like, y'all want to come with me? And they're like, the last 7 people that left with you didn't make it back.
Exactly.
I'm not going with you.
After a while, we can stop opening that gate for you.
I'm like, I promise. Like, y'all will make it back with me this time. Like, I swear.
Yeah.
And only 2 of y'all come back. And I come back and Jay's like, where's Desiree? And I'm like, oh, it was terrible. She didn't.
Yeah, right. Okay, I am an assassin. Okay, I know Muay Thai. I know martial. You're messing with a Black Widow here. I'm making it back. They're gonna ask where RJ is at.
He'll be like, yeah, he tried to leave me, so I left him. Shot him in the ankle.
I had to do what I had to do.
I love it. But yeah, like Joel's death. So for me, the difference between Joel's death in the game and in the television show, it was definitely different. Joel in the game was beat to death with those golf clubs that she looked off to the side, and he was brutally beaten. And so for me, it was anticlimactic. Are you good now, Gerald? Can I unmute you? Because I didn't know if you were. You still okay? Yeah. I was a little disappointed because I was expecting, not that I wanted it to happen, but I was expecting her to literally brutally, like, because in the game, like, she's like, and just like beating him with the club while Ellie watches. So for me, it was a little bit anticlimactic that he just got stabbed.
So I watched somebody talk about that. And a point that they make, so of course, you know, the difference between what we see on television versus games and stuff. Obviously, we've seen, you know, Daredevil. We've seen a lot of these Marvel shows. You can beat somebody to a pulp and they can still live. So you have to show that. Unfortunately, on TV, you have to show something final. So I think that's basically the way they said it is. If she would have just kept hitting them with the golf club, sure. Unless they showed basically innards running out, they had to show a different way of still being able to get the emotion out of it, but then showing the final piece of, you know. I think they also
go watch Joel's death in the game. Like, there's no question about whether or not that man is dead.
Yeah.
And or they could have just drug his body back like they did at the end of this episode. I just feel like grabbing was it was flat.
I don't necessarily agree or disagree because I haven't seen what you saw, so I can't disagree with you more than I can say that was probably just a choice that they decided to go with, since there was a lot of key things that they changed about the episode itself.
Yeah,
so they still had the element in there, because I ain't gonna lie. When she hit him in the leg, I was like, I'm sure she did hit him in the leg in the game. You know, in my brain, that's what I'm thinking. That so
everyone is equal.
You are terrible.
Equal in my world. Kids, if you don't have no useful skills, if you can't farm, if you're not a doctor, you can go too.
That's terrible. Remind me that I am not your friend in a post-apocalyptic.
So basically, Joel's death means nothing to you because he can go, kids can go, anybody who's down the totem pole is not you.
I don't care. At the end of the day, I gotta live.
This dude
If I
said it's
now
about my
if I
own
couldn't take myself out,
self-preservation.
that's one thing, but I'm not gonna die for nobody else. Especially not no
RJ, those are always the characters that die, though. The ones that always try to save themselves.
because they have a moment of lapse of judgment and they try to go back and save somebody or they start being nice. I ain't saving nobody.
And mind you, it's always the character with the glasses and the entire
It's always a male character
Yep.
with glasses.
glasses.
Oh,
Wow.
In
I'm not
every
saving
single movie.
nobody. Listen,
Oh, that
Oh
is
my
hilarious.
it's not working. Like y'all have to come up with a plan B because don't involve me in your plan A because I'm not.
See,
Like,
it's always the scared one that goes. No, you got to do it. You got to flip that one. You got to reverse it. You got to act brave. That way you can actually live or
I'll
have
be
it.
the first scaredy cat to make it to the end.
Oh my gosh.
So I thought it was kind of interesting how
I'll be alive, Shayna, but I will be alive.
I thought it was interesting how
Yeah. No, the backwards hat. Oh, well, it's your lucky day. It's your lucky day, Gerald. Your hat
Right.
ain't backwards.
well no.
Gerald had 4. You're gonna live.
You gonna live.
Wow. That's the what they do on social media, the survivors kit,
It's a starter kit, yeah.
glasses, backwards hat.
Yep. And you black too, RJ.
Give no F's about anybody else.
Yep.
And
And
the
he
man,
black
he'll-
too.
and then he had a little book,
Right.
The Manual to Survival.
Yep.
Oh my
It's
god.
called the
F
real,
them kids and such.
yeah. The will leave your ass in the zombie apocalypse starter pack.
Oh man.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
Then
That
come
was
begging
fun.
for food later. Nah, get out of here.
So I thought Abby navigated because she peeped even her people trying to like be like, hey, let's try to get on out of here, because once they can now that was an interesting choice that the way they did that.
Mhm.
You notice when she was introducing them to everybody, she saved Joel for last.
Yeah.
Instead, and
Yep.
this is Joel, and everybody was like, dang.
She eased into it.
Yeah.
That's exactly who she want. Like
Yeah.
he's here now. And the dude said, hey, well, let's just get on with it then at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Let's do what you came here to do. Because it was slick even how they got to ended up sedating old girl, and was like, hey, you're gonna be out for an hour. You don't worry about it. And I was like, dang, this is like to me, that was slow torture because
Mm-hmm.
she was so methodical at that point. Because obviously nobody was changing her mind. Nobody.
But she's thought about that since the day her dad died.
Yeah.
Like she knew what she was gonna do. And I commend Dina because she let them put her out. I'd have been like, well, you don't have to put me out. I'll help you kill him.
But she had no idea. She just knew it was a gun to her head, and she didn't have.
I'd be like, you can take that gun and put it in my hand, and I'll shoot Joel myself. Like,
oh my god,
that's an RJ response. Dina was not sure what was going on. Dina knew Dina knew she had a gun to her head. That was it. So, and they knew that they would get Joel to comply by doing that part.
Yeah. See, in the well, I guess it's the similar way when Ellie came in and she was like, when Ellie came in and they was it Nora and I don't want to ruin it. I can't wait till we get to. Never mind. Oh my god.
Okay,
yeah.
I was about to say because they need to
those,
show
those two.
Tati Gabrielle.
I love her. I love her.
Love
Everything she's in.
That
I
is
love
my
the
queen.
students. I love her in You. I love everything she's in.
Yeah.
But I because in the game she's played by Patience from All American Coop's girlfriend.
Mhm.
That's who she's played by in the game. And I was hoping that they would give it to her, but Tati Gabriel's an equally good choice. And I love the relationship with the dynamic between her and Ellie.
Yeah.
Like later on in the game, those two. That's a particular scene that I hope that we get to see with those two.
Ooh. Okay, got me excited.
It's good with those two.
Good, yeah, because I didn't want her character falling by the wayside. Since I didn't play the game, I just know her as an actress.
Yeah,
needs more.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, like don't just play her off as a side character. She can act her butt off.
She's gonna have a scene with Ellie and with are they the wolves? Yeah, it's chef's kiss. Like it's gonna be good. I love But yeah, so they, and one thing I noticed too, I feel like I don't want to say Abby's team was low key soft, but like y'all knew I was about to kill this man. So why are y'all questioning me and coming at me now when I'm telling y'all what I'm gonna do? Like, why are y'all shocked? I've been talking about this for 5 years about killing this man, and then she threw shade at Joel and she was like, "What are you in your 60s now?" I'd have been like,
Well, I think
60?
that was just to confirm all of her thought, because she had even said, but she had said that even at the grave site, that he's
Yeah,
probably like in his 50s or something, or his late 50s or something like that. And then she even threw in, and yeah, you're kind of handsome, So
yeah. What are you,
it
six
was
foot?
right.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I
I
said,
think
yes, he is. That's Pedro Pascal. Okay. Yes, he is. You're right, girlfriend.
but
Okay.
but I'm
Correct.
but let's be realistic though. Like Joe actually did a couple things during that scene that he knew his time was up.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You know, when he initially answered, because she said, "Well, you need to tell me the truth. Where's the last time you saw fireflies?" And he was like, "Salt Lake."
Mhm.
And she was like, "Okay, good." So I
You
mean,
sure?
he already knew what it was at that point. Now he probably had no idea who he killed, because I know in the game that was one thing that I had already heard, that he actually didn't even know why he was getting killed
Yeah.
completely. Like he obviously knew that she had some vendetta, but he didn't
Yeah.
know
He didn't
the
know
actual
specifically what it was.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So I
I like
think,
the part where she was saying all of this stuff and he was like, shut the
man,
fuck up
just
or
get
do
up,
like
get
I
do
get
it
over,
love
already.
that
get it over
part.
with.
Yes.
But that was like him. That was him pushing her button at that point.
Mhm.
Like I know how to make a daughter figure mad by telling
Yeah.
her to be quiet. Like just get
Mhm.
it over with. But even when she started saying her stuff, he kind of nodded and kind
Mhm.
of gave her like it is what it is.
Yeah.
He was
And it
monologuing
was
like hell, like damn, just put me out of
yeah,
like,
And
just
the
do it
mustache
already.
twirling, he's like, I don't feel
right.
Yeah.
that. Come on.
Yeah. Told her straight up.
Yeah, when
He
he
said,
told her, I
"Hey,"
was dying.
he said, "Man, just get on with it."
Right.
That's that Stringer Bell. When
Yeah.
he's like, just get on with it, Pop.
I mean, who honestly wants to listen to all that? I don't blame him either. If it's my fate, it's my fate. Can you please
Yeah.
not
Right.
kill me by talking too
He
much?
Like you're
wasn't he
dragging
wasn't
it out.
begging. He wasn't I mean, he knew it was done once she took the
Oh, yeah.
leg out. He knew it was a wrap. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
I mean, look at the picture next to you, Gerald. That looks like the
right.
face of a man he's tired. He's
He's
done.
done. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's done.
Yeah,
And
that
then
was interesting.
in the game when she blew his leg off, you can kind of zoom in. Like I
Mhm.
would just the leg alone put me out because you can see
Oh, yeah.
clear as you can see everything in the leg in the game. Take me
Ugh.
out at that point. I don't want to
Yep.
recover.
Ugh. That's when the white meat starts showing. You like, oh no,
Yeah,
I
it
can't.
was bad. It
Yeah.
was bad in the game. It was nasty.
Oh
And
my God.
so she ends up stabbing him in the neck, and Ellie just, the trauma screams. That's something that like, damn, I can't say that either.
Oh,
It sticks with everybody in the group. That is gonna change them forever. Like hearing
Yeah.
that,
yeah.
it's gonna change them forever.
It was brilliant the way that they did it. I know that, you're saying how he died in the game because I haven't seen it, but I think just as a fan watching it, an audience member, and from a strategic, playing field, I think just that stab in the neck, I think that was enough. I think
Yeah.
less was more in that instance. It just,
Mhm.
you didn't know when it was going to happen too. It's
Yeah.
the
Well,
thing.
it was yeah, because it was so crazy. The whole back and forth when they cut back into the scene and she was just steadily just doing like this. I was like,
Yeah.
golly, how
Yeah.
long has this been happening? Like, was this the whole time y'all had cut away and they was
Yes.
just standing there watching?
Hmm.
Because the golf
Yeah.
club early on, like
Hmm.
Yeah.
when she hit in the leg, because you could hear it snap.
Hmm.
And so I was
She
like, okay,
beat that man
yeah,
to death with her bare hands in that game.
yeah.
Like,
She did. Yeah. Mm. But I mean, hey, if it was any of our parents, but who's to
yeah.
who's to say what you would do in that,
It depends. Am I gonna die too? And which
Okay,
parent is it? What are
come
we
on.
talking about
If
here? Is my mom or my dad?
it means
Love
your
them
mom
both,
is gonna
but
live.
you know,
Goodness.
I don't know.
But if you had the opportunity to avenge, your parents, people you love, I feel like it's a different. I love seeing that side of her, from a character standpoint.
Yeah,
Okay.
I understand it.
Yeah.
I understand it.
yeah. I
And I
get
thought
it.
it came. I thought
understand
it
why
kind of
she.
went. It kind of went full circle too, because of the like kind of like the little nightmare thing
Mhm.
she had, where she was like, "Don't go in there," you
Yeah,
know.
that's in the
And
game.
so yeah,
Yeah,
so I think that kind of brought a little bit of a cathartic feeling for her, because at
Mhm.
the end of the day, she at that point she's like, "Hey, I did what I was supposed to do. What
yeah,
I've been saying I was going to do." Um, I didn't feel as sad as I thought I would have, because I was still shocked that they did it.
Mhm.
But initially, I was like, "Dang, I'm." Once I realized what was happening, I said, "Oh, he ain't gonna make it out this episode." Dang. And the
Yeah.
whole
I think
time,
we
I'm
would have.
thinking it was his brother that wasn't gonna make it for some reason.
Yeah.
So
I think we would have felt sadder. And this is not a knock to season one, but there
Mhm.
was a lot of things and bonding that Ellie and Joel went through in season one that made them not talking in season two hurt so bad. And then the fact that they never really truly got to make up before Joel was killed. And Ellie's gonna carry that guilt with her forever. And so the reason why I didn't feel, I mean, I felt bad listening to Ellie scream, but it didn't gut me as much as I thought it was gonna gut me, because season one was so short and we really didn't get to see, when we got to see them bond, but the game showed so much more than season one did. That's why I think like that 6 to 8 episode stuff is criminal for a story like this.
Oh yeah. I think in this instance, just from an actor standpoint, like if they had have like stuck him in the neck right then and there, and then she just stops, like that emotion just
Yeah,
stops, the crying, I think that would have had a really, really that would have had an impact on how the audience would have felt in that moment.
yeah,
That would have definitely made people feel sad. That shock. People
yeah.
stop right then and there when they see something traumatic happen, and you can see in their eyes that they're in shock. I would have loved that would have been a choice right there.
Like a brief catatonic,
Just
like,
yeah.
yeah. I could see that too. That probably would have not electrified. That probably would have like jolted me. That probably would have jolted me seeing something
Mhm.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
because
I
you'd have felt a way about her, like, dang,
Yeah.
that's like you want to help her try to figure it out now, because she just went primal immediately.
Yeah.
Like the sound dropped out, she had that scream, and then she started snapping. I heard Ruth after that. That's what I
Yeah.
heard. I heard Ruth.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna help it kill you. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, that was
That's an
that Ruth.
ultra rap. Yeah. But it was sad seeing them drag that man's body back and Ellie just kind of
That
looking back like that. That did kind of like, oh man.
I can't
Yeah.
confirm or deny that I had to kind of bat it up a little bit
Yeah.
on that part, because I was like, okay, what? Oh, no, they dragging them.
But that
Oh,
it's good that they did it though, because on the game they don't do that. They just show him buried, and so like you have to. I never got to. We never got to see that in the game. Like, damn, we really have to bring this man's dead body back. And not only that, something's different in the show. We have to bring this dead man's body back to a place where there's more dead and burned bodies and infected, and just
Mhm.
security and safety is just gone now.
And back
Um,
to his brother.
to his
back
brother, I say
back
yeah,
to
to
his
his brother.
brother, yeah.
Yeah,
And so like it's a whole bunch of stuff that has to that we have to kind of deal with in the next episode. That one, I'm not looking forward to how that is gonna unfold. Like Tommy seeing Joel. I'm not looking forward to that.
a
Mm-mm.
whole
I
bunch
don't.
of
Well, then again,
flashbacks.
I wouldn't have to go back because I would have left with the Wolves. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, how many flashbacks y'all think we gonna see?
Yeah, I was wondering about that. I was thinking they would probably go that route with the flashbacks. I don't know how many though.
he's gonna have to be in flashbacks because there's some things that happen in the game that
Oh.
help tell the story
Mhm.
forward. So I believe we're gonna see him again, not in a huge capacity because it's only but so many episodes, but I think we're gonna have to see him in flashbacks in order for them to get to certain points in the game where we understand Ellie's character choices.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So overall, with this episode, how do you guys rate it 1 through 10?
For me, it was a 9. This is what I wanted to see because it's
Yeah,
been
you
so
did
long.
say
I've
that.
been
Yeah.
anticipating it for so long. I'm like, shock me, even if it's early in the season. Just do it.
I don't agree with what they did, but I can go with a 9. Just because my guess was wrong, but I still liked it for what it was. Being that I didn't have anything to compare it to game wise, I'm definitely interested to see what RJ had to say. But definitely, I would say a 9 anyway.
No, I will give you a lot. I will also give it a very fair and a very solid and strong 9. Even though there were some changes that were made from the game, the changes that they made, at least for now, don't have a negative effect or impact on how the story is told. It doesn't take away from it. Yep, Shane, a 9. Dang, this is the first time we all agreed on something.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
let's go.
I try not to nitpick about it because I feel like, ultimately, obviously it was already done.
Mhm.
But my guess was more, I'm sure there were more fans trying to clamoring for more, like, how are you going to keep Joel in this? How are you going to keep him in this? And we knew he was going to go, but it was
Yeah.
like, are you going to drag him through the season? Which the flashbacks is going to be like he's not gone anyway, because I think they're going to mend the fence, because I think some of the stuff that Ellie talked about, even during when they were in the little hiding
Mhm.
spot, little ducked off spot, that being that she was trying to go on patrol with him, so they obviously had to have had some kind of reconciliation to some degree,
Yeah.
that we just hadn't
I would have
seen yet.
lured her just like how Abby lured Joel. I would have lured Ellie right into a false insecurity. Because who do you think you are? First of all, you kissed my girlfriend in front of everybody. Like,
At this point, man, I
that'd
think
be embarrassing. Like,
I think
y'all,
he knows, bro. I think he knows that ship has sailed, man.
I don't care.
I
That's
don't think
dirty.
he
Like,
tripped.
we supposed to be friends. I'm taking you out. Like, first, come on patrol with me. Come on.
Oh my God.
This is a new route. We got to run it. Come on. You won't be back. They don't come to
Man,
our to
you
get rid of her
ruthless,
for
bro.
nothing.
You ruthless.
Tastes well and different from the game, but very well done. Such
Yeah.
loyalty. Yeah.
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 I mean, obviously, you're not gonna make everybody happy, but I think at the end of the day, you were able to tell the same story with a little bit of a different, spin to some of the action, which,
Absolutely.
based on what RJ is saying, for the better. I think
Yeah.
they did it for the better, not for a bunch of fan service. Because sometimes the fan service don't play out like you think, in live
Mhm.
action. So,
Yep.
because everybody got a different way of absorbing the information, and if I just know that I'm gonna get beat for beat what the game is doing, I mean, really, what is that really doing for me?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. So, yeah. But that's our show for the evening, guys. Um, Make sure you come back same time next week and bring a friend. We want to create a sense of community and belonging here for everyone that loves movies and television. Safe space for all Black, minority, people of color, LGBTQ plus. Everyone is welcome here, and we just want to create a community of TV and movie lovers who can talk about these things and feel safe and be able to say anything that's on their mind. So come back same time, same place next week. Bring a friend. Don't forget to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. Later
Check
days.
out our socials.
Oh, yeah, socials on the bottom. Check that out. Later days.